So every time I go on a walk or run, I'm always in my head thinking, reflecting on a bunch of things. And this morning during my jog, I was thinking about a young man back in the days that showed up to do the screener test. So the run, swim, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, all that, because he was trying to go and be a SEAL. And I'm laughing thinking about that kid because he showed up 2 times to take the PT test, and every time he could never make it out of the water. He could never pass the swim portion, which is the very first part of the test. And when I asked him, because I hadn't seen any, development, and he hasn't gotten any better. He was the same every time he showed up. And I asked him, I said, hey, what are you doing for workouts, to prepare for this PT test? Like, you're trying to go be a SEAL, and SEAL stands for sea, air, and land, right? The very first part is sea. The very first part of the PT test is the swim portion. So what are you doing to become, become better and more confident in the water? And he said, I wrestle. I paused for a minute, and I said, yes, but what are you doing to correct your discrepancies in swimming? And he said, I wrestle. I told him, I said, brother, what are you doing to swim? He's like, I wrestle. Wrestling's great workouts. And I just had to stop him at that point and tell him, hey, brother, don't come back no more unless you can swim. Because if that's what you're doing to correct your discrepancy by not even addressing your discrepancy, then you don't have the right mind frame or anything to do the job, right? And I think about that because, anytime you're doing anything in life, you need to be able to address your shortfalls and then, look at your goals and then adjust accordingly. If you know you need these skill sets to do this job, then go obtain those skill sets, or else you're never gonna meet your objective. So if you got dreams of doing something, look and try to figure out what your shortfall is and fix it. All right, let's fucking go.